Zulu and the Great Wall of China. Zulu, having barely escaped a temporal paradox involving a rogue Cleopatra and a misplaced Sphinx, decided his next mission would be to the Far East. He'd heard whispers through the time-space continuum that the Great Wall of China wasn't actually built by the Chinese at all, but by a time-traveling freedom fighter, himself, obviously, with the help of a rather unsavory character named Attila the Bum. Arriving in China in the year 1500, Zulu immediately set about finding his supposed accomplice. He found Attila the Bum, who, despite the name, was surprisingly clean and smelled faintly of lavender, meditating on a mountaintop, surrounded by a flock of confused geese. "Attila, old chap," Zulu announced, landing his time-traveling refrigerator with a thud that scattered the geese. "Ready to build a wall and conquer some Russians?" Attila, a man of few words and even fewer baths, simply grunted and pointed towards a pile of suspiciously modern-looking construction equipment conveniently located nearby. Apparently, Zulu had thought ahead and brought along a few excavators, cranes, and a cement mixer, disguised as a traditional Chinese tea cart, naturally. With Attila's surprisingly adept skills in operating heavy machinery and Zulu's unique architectural vision, involving strategically placed bouncy castles and a moat filled with rubber duckies, the Great Wall of China began to take shape. It wasn't exactly the historical landmark we know today, but it was certainly interesting. News of the wall and its eccentric builders reached the ears of Ivan the Terrible, Tsar of all the Russias. Fearing this new, brightly colored, and slightly bouncy fortification, Ivan gathered his army and marched towards China. The battle that ensued was one for the ages. Attila, wielding a rusty spoon with surprising ferocity, led the charge, while Zulu, armed with a water pistol filled with hot sauce, provided tactical support, mostly involving squirting hot sauce into the eyes of unsuspecting Russian soldiers. The battle reached its climax when Zulu, in a stroke of genius, or perhaps madness, activated the bouncy castles. The Russian army, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of inflatable fortresses, was thrown into disarray. Attila seized the opportunity, leading a charge of geese, who had apparently decided to join the fray, and routing the remaining Russian forces. Victorious, Zulu and Attila celebrated with a feast of Peking duck, which Attila insisted on eating with his hands, and a rousing game of hopscotch on the newly built Great Wall. Zulu, his mission accomplished, sort of, returned to his own time, leaving behind a bewildered China, a defeated Russia, and a very confused flock of geese.